Yo, this is the day that we have been waiting for, that the fans have been waiting for. The most requested guest in the history of Canal Street Dreams, the most mentioned person on this podcast, the one, the only, Adrian DZA Deucemanian is in the building.
What up?
Yo, this guy, legendary DJ. Live.
Which one do I look at?
Yo,
by the way?
and you can look at all of them. They're all your fans. You can all of them. You're talking to your
This
fans.
is like
all
this
of
is
them.
like 4K multi HD.
I just gotta do the CV for you. Like,
Yeah, put it
Live
on.
Wednesday
Put them on.
night, legendary Miami DJ,
True.
co-founder Andrew Skate Shop. All right, founder of the VS Armor, very special watches, which we talk about every episode. The
Hell yeah.
founder, and most importantly, he was originally the first bot in our fantasy league, the Latrell Sprewell Invitational, and was unmasked at Art Basel 2016. And then, like the Arab dude in Un Prophet, climbed up the ranks and became the commissioner of all of our fantasy leagues after a historic coup in, was it 2022 was the coup?
To be honest, the details of the coup are vague to me, but I remember.
Yeah.
2021.
2021, 2022, a coup was staged.
I'm a puppet leader.
DZA became the commissioner.
So I just got propped up to
You got propped
take the
up,
hits
bro. You got
for
propped
you
up.
and Mills.
Yeah, we were like the Corsican gang that took over, and then we propped you up. It was like,
Exactly.
yo, we need the Lebanese king controlling this league.
That's right.
Yo, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, guys.
We are
Hell
your
yeah.
biggest fans.
We are.
Same.
We shout you out every episode.
That's sick.
If an episode goes by where we don't shout you out, it's weird. I feel like the juju on the episode's off.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a
Honestly,
DZA.
I even just keep talking about me. It's pretty
Bro,
sick.
I have to, like, you know, as a feature of being hosting a podcast, I have to glaze every guest. But
Yeah,
I have to
yeah,
say,
it's
I
sick.
really enjoyed that this time.
I feel like it's really authentic with you though.
Glazing
'Cause
is sick.
Yeah.
That's I love to glaze.
Yeah,
you know?
we've never even lived in the same city, but I swear to God, like you're just a fixture in our lives, in our home, like at
Hell
all
yeah.
times.
Dude, the cheat code to being the most important person in like every male 25 to 40 something is to just be like the commissioner of your fantasy football league, which,
It's
Pretty
very
much.
true.
you know,
Pretty much. Are you gonna fill the league?
yeah. I'm not even worried. I'm not even
Are you
worried
guys
about
still
that.
seeking your
We're looking
well,
for
first
our-
it was
every-
first it was
every
a
day.
10th, then it was a 9th, then it was an
Yeah.
8th, then it was
Look,
like down to a
there
6th.
has
You're
been
like,
there has been some situations in our league. We're down some people, but we'll be all right. We'll
People
figure
ran
it
off
out.
on the plug. I had to pay somebody's league dues.
Yeah, you know.
You know,
yeah.
people ran off.
Things
it
get
it went from a
messy.
12-team league to a 10-team league.
I think basketball makes people very emotional, you know.
When it comes to the league, do you think it's quality over quantity?
Yes.
I would rather be in a league where everybody is really good and nobody even talks, just because I know that you know the league is good. The perfect scenario is like a really good league with everybody like talking all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you know you got to take what you can get.
Okay.
You know?
And your duties as commissioner. Just because like I still don't know. I know you're our
Well, you're the
commish.
only woman that has ever been in the chat.
I have removed myself from the chat. We were beefing a little bit
The
like
thing-
in the last 2 weeks. So I kept removing myself as like punishment to you, even though you don't care.
Sick. I mean,
Yeah. I was like, well,
respect.
then I'm not going to be in the chat.
But luckily, Mills keeps bringing you back
He
into the
does.
chat.
Yeah. Because I
mean-
keep seeing things that I need to send in the chat now.
I think like my job as commish in this league is more so to just make sure that Eric Duncan isn't doing some flagrant trades.
Yes.
That's really it. You know, after
Yes.
that, like it's not really like my league. It is I'm the commissioner now, but I'm not the oldest person there.
Yeah.
The oldest members. So it's like I have to kind of make sure everybody's happy.
You're underplaying
I'm
it
like a
because you
UN.
set draft day, right? Like you set the date and the time. That's a big deal.
No, that's easy.
There's chatter.
easy.
No, but there's always chatter about like when is it?
Yeah, when's the draft?
When's
But
the
that's
draft?
like a running-
When's the draft?
running a dinks joke.
Dude, I will be out.
We
like
still
I
don't know
no,
when the draft
It's
is.
to the
We
point
don't
where
know.
I have
We don't know.
adopted this whole shit to like, I'll be out with my girlfriends and I'll be like, yo, when's the draft? Like,
Yo, that's pretty funny.
and then yo, at the end of everything.
Do you put like weird accents on top of your?
Yeah.
Sick.
I'm so, it's
The best
rotted
is
my brain.
we put Chuck in the league now, so Chuck English is in the league, and he's listening.
fun.
He was watching us type yesterday. He goes, "Yo, how y'all got the different fonts, or am I cooked?" We're like, "Yo, you're cooked, bro."
The funniest thing is we added my brother-in-law Stevie to the league like 2 years ago, and he didn't really quite understand, or I don't know, maybe he did, but he thought we were doing like a Cam Newton thing where like Cam writes all his captions with like the craziest letters possible. So he started doing that, and we're like, yo, no, it's not like that. Like, you don't have to write every message in like the craziest font.
How long do you think that takes doing every letter like that?
Forever.
Wow.
It's just 10 years of inside jokes, and like it doesn't even make sense unless you're like living in this chat. But I think the biggest challenge for you is like we get like seeing people or cool guys in the chat, and Dinks is kind of like the dark lord, I think, of the league.
Yeah.
And Dinks is basically like, I'll be your friend if you trade me your best players. And so when dudes start to have whack teams like around the trade deadline, you can see they just try to trade Dinks their good players so that Dinks will like be friends with them.
I think Eric is so sick in that way because he's like ancient, right? He's old as hell. He's been through it all. Like he doesn't even care about anything. He's seen every brand, every DJ, everything that you could possibly live through. And he's just like, who are you? You want to trade me a player? Cool. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't even really care about
He don't
like,
care.
who-
He has access to everything, but it's like, I just want Wembanyama off you for nothing.
Yeah, for nothing.
And then there's dudes that are like, yo, you think if one time a guy actually asked me, was like, yo, you think if I trade Mills, this player, he could get me passes to Felix Art Fair? I'm like, no, that's not how this works. That's
Yeah.
collusion. So dudes are always trying to like trade players for like real life benefits. And we're like, nah, the fantasy has to
Right.
supersede
You
that.
don't think though there's alliances?
It doesn't
There
matter.
is.
There is.
There
for
was
sure
an Asian
alliance.
alliance.
There was alliances, but it's very it's just everything has to stay ethical.
Okay.
You know?
There was a Miami alliance and an Asian alliance, and then like a New York one.
These are fabricated alliances.
But just for
by the
like
way. Literally
any,
by,
just
like-
just so I know, what are the ethics of like just the G code of a fantasy league?
think about
Top three.
I think the number one thing is to like play the game, like
Set your lineups.
You know, like if
Okay.
you're not setting your lineups, like you're wasting our time. Like just die. You know,
Okay.
you're ruining the game for us. Don't do like funny trades. Come on, like
Okay.
you're ruining the game. And then that's kind of it. There's really no. That's
Okay.
it. Set your
Sometimes he
lineups,
gets
don't
mad when
collude.
I remind him that Stevie's lacing his sister.
Right. Well,
Okay.
that's my brother-in-law. So you know,
Okay. I mean, I could see that. Not everybody is like,
respect to him. You know, he made it to the fam.
I like that.
But there's
yeah.
crazy shit like in the football league. Like the football league that he got me into with the Miami Football League is
That's
now
with like the dog breeder and
Yeah.
okay.
You're right.
Yeah,
I know like
legend.
just little bits and pieces, but
Yeah, there's E-Rock the dog
I think
breeder.
last 2 years ago, someone from I've had this like fantasy football league since I was like, I don't know, 19 or 20 with like all my Miami friends. And someone dropped off and I knew that he had been wanting to play fantasy football somewhere. And I was like, all right, like here, there's a league. It's just full of like really random, regular friends of mine that are like my actual good friends. You know, you want to join? And he was like, all right. And then he came into the league and I'm like, this is probably an element where this is probably one of the few elements where Eddie walks into like these types of settings and like nobody actually really knows who he is.
They don't
like,
give a fuck.
They really don't. They're just like, who is this random Asian dude?
You
that just,
delivering
like, you
Chinese
brought?
food?
Like, cool.
I really think it's like your favorite chat though.
And then it's just been like a funny balance of like people kind of like vetting him a little bit, and then now he's 2 years in, so it's all good now. But yeah,
Yeah, the first year was fun because it is like one of the few space I went and I was just getting roasted. Like they would all make fun of this dude Mingo's mom, and then like I made fun of Mingo's mom, and he's like, "Yo, you're not allowed to make fun of Mingo's mom yet." And I was like, "Damn, I gotta earn the right to make fun of Mingo's mom." And like,
R.I.P. R.I.P. to Mingo's mom.
R.I.P. Mingo's mom.
R.I.P.
Yeah, it's like, but it's beautiful to be in this league.
Like, what is this? This is deranged.
It's beautiful to be in the league because they've been friends for like 20 years. They're like all like actual friends.
Like some of them have been friends literally their whole like since they were like 3 or 4 years old, you know. So it's just like it's a very wholesome place, and it's cool though because like everyone in that league, like we've all known each other since teenagers, and pretty much all of us have kind of like in our own past gone on to like do things. So it's like we've actually all just grown up together. Nobody's like fallen off because everyone kind of has like somewhat of a stable job or like a stable life. And it's cool to see. It's like just like
and there's just like good people.
Fantasy league goals.
Yeah, it's fantasy league goals, dad goals. And it's like sometimes you be in like a downtown New York chat and people are like flexing, like, check out this G-Wagon, check out this whatever. In that chat.
That's me.
Yeah, but like some cats, I mean, a lot of people in there are like, yo, what's the better value? Like the Jeep Grand Wagoneer or the like Lucid?
And I was like, get good car advice via this chat.
Yeah. And that's the chat. I'm like, oh, people like review Costco products in this chat.
Yeah.
There's a dude, the Costco guys. I'm just like, this is like real life shit I like to be around.
I yearn for this.
Yeah.
Like just male
normality,
camaraderie. Like I don't have a chat with.
True.
I mean, you have your chat with your friends. Is it? I mean, I don't know. I can't gender it, but just like personally, there's nothing that bonds anybody that I've ever met to be my friend the way that sports. Just like you will always have the chat, like you said, like it's this one thing that has kept you guys together and talking.
My girl has this chat that she's been. It's like same with her friends from when she was literally like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And it still goes like it goes off every day. And like for forever, I was like, this is literally the same thing as my chat. But no, they're talking about just wholesome shit all the time.
Yeah, because I have one, but it's not the same.
Yeah, this is not like nobody is like insulting each other. Then they're like, look at what I did today. I got my nails done.
Yeah,
like, oh my god, amazing.
Yeah, we'll
and
talk
ours, it's
shit.
like Eddie will be like, yo, like check this out. They're like, wow, that's trash. Like you're a dumbass. Like this sucks.
And you like need that to keep you humbled as a person. I feel
it's like not the kindest, but it works.
Yeah,
you know?
that's why I like just getting a little glimpse of it into the other like. You know, alt chat. I'm like, oh, the boys are talking shit today.
It's the best. And then it's because you do a lot of shit. Like, you know, you'll be working with Stone Island, you'll be doing the watches. Hodinky, like I went to a Hodinky event and I met like the editor of Hodinky and like, oh, you know DZA. And I was like, oh, the commish? And they're like, what are you talking about? And I was like, yo, ask him if he's going to fill the league. And she's like, wait, ask DZA if he's going to fill the league. And I was like, ask him. But it's just like, it's cool because I meet mad people through business that know you and work with you. And I'm just like, I do love that. I'm like, he's my commissioner.
Yes. Shout out to Malika.
Yeah, shout out Malika from Hodinky.
Yeah.
Fantastic
She's
editor.
a legend.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, that segues us into the watches thing. Like, that's a great story.
Yeah.
Like, I read it in Hodinky. I read it in High Snobiety. But as a customer and as your homie, it was funny. I like the way you did it because you didn't just like announce like, oh, I got this business, whatever. He just went in the fantasy chats and was like, boys, anyone want watches? Hit me. And I was like, why would I cop a watch from you? We were all roasting him. And then the business comes out and we're like, oh, this is like the premier brand for buying vintage watches. Like DZA just informed us through the fantasy chat.
Well, I'll take that. There's a lot of important legendary vintage dealers that, you know.
Yeah, but you're our guy.
Them.
You're our guy.
True.
You know, so you don't got to be that humble. You're our guy. You're our guy.
I think for me, I when I like came up on a little bit of money from DJing, I used to live in an apartment in Little Havana that my friend, I used to live there by myself, but then my friend Pace Rock moved in there with me. And we were just like looking up watches because I was like, yo, I finally made some money. Like, what should I buy? And then I just went to like the Miami Jewelry District and went to this dude and I just bought like the cheapest Datejust like you could buy. You know, I was like, I got my Rolex. And then I actually like made a little bit more money. But I remember my experience was so whack. Like, dude didn't even look at me in my eyes type of thing. And then I went to these other dudes who actually really kind of were the first dealers to be nice to me. These dudes, Sam, and I'm gonna forget his name, but they had a company back in the day called Gold Watch Co. And they were mad cool. They were just like being nice to me. But they were definitely like
It's not like Hillstone that tries to make you take your hat off.
Right.
Also hates kids. Get ready
Also
for
hates,
that.
that's whack. But long story short, I bought a second and third watch from them, and the experience was always cool. But I think I was starting to kind of like get more into like rare and detailed watches and whatever. And I bought this random watch, and then I took it to a space where I met Juan, who's now my partner, and he was kind of like the first dude to really like tell me, why do you want to buy that watch? Instead of, oh yeah, buy that watch. He'd be like, why do you want to buy that watch? I'm like, he's like, that watch is trash. Like, you don't want to buy that watch for this reason. And not because like it's a whack watch financially or anything. He's like, no, that the dial's not right. The bracelet is incorrect. It doesn't match this. And like, you know, I had never really thought about that in that way. And that like opened my eyes to like, oh, I can't just be buying, you know, something that costs thousands of dollars and not really like care about the details. And after I met Juan, that's kind of when my perspective on vintage watches or just watches period changed. And over time I started buying more watches, different watches, whatever. And eventually, yeah, we started VS. I think once I started getting into watches a little more thoroughly, a lot of my friends would ask me like their opinion on certain watches or what, you know, and I would just give them advice, or I would introduce them to Juan or whatever it might be. And then eventually I think they kind of just trusted me to like help them find watches for them. And at the same time, Juan and I had just kind of spoken loosely about maybe doing something together, and it kind of just happened at the correct time. And yeah, that's how VS came along. And then actually Mingo from our chat was our first customer.
Oh, no way.
Aww.
Yeah. And that was it. After that, I mean, you know, Mike and I kind of came together with our other friend Nate, and we kind of just like put a little plan together. And Sage was also involved with us. We all kind of were just like in a group chat, just spitballing bullshit about watches. And we're like, yo, let's do something. Let's try something. And it kind of so far is working out. So
yeah,
you know.
and I have this like deep meta thought about this because I'm like, I think about shit like this way too much because we all love streetwear, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I feel like streetwear, we all still celebrate, we all do the thing. Like, it's just what we are and what we wear. We're always gonna be these dudes. But you know, like how a lot of quote unquote streetwear basically transition to like dudes with loafers and socks and like shorts and things like that. And they're like, it's interesting how that happened to like kind of streetwear men's fashion. But I like that you guys kind of took OGs from streetwear and the style and applied the ethos and all of the aesthetic to watches, which I don't think like those two groups ever really collided like that, besides when Supreme did the like fuck it watch.
Yeah,
that
which,
Mike has too.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, I might be mistaken, but I think actually Mike worked on that watch.
No, it did. Yeah, he did.
So I think the cool.
You know what I'm saying though,
Yeah,
right?
no,
It's
no.
like,
I think the cool thing about how we kind of came together is that Mike and I kept explaining to Juan, and Juan understood it and for sure was like, yeah, that makes sense. But like we would go to places, whether it's Tokyo or Milan or whatever, and we would just kind of like, we'd have a hard time like having a good experience.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, we're like, yo, there's also so much opportunity in this watch world, and there's so much that we could do to kind of get our heads more into it, you know? And Mike, honestly, working with him was cool because like I would have these ideas similar to when Andrew came about. I would have these ideas and Press would kind of like make them happen. Mike also would make them happen. And Mike has so much like, he's a watch enthusiast already, you know, he likes watches. So his references were pretty elite. So even when we came about the branding, how we were going to do stuff like post pictures in a certain way, talk, message in a certain way, Mike kind of had like that already thought through. even before I had to explain, or even we had to like have conversations about it. So it was very easy to talk to like our customer base, which kind of is a little bit of like, 25 to 45-year-old people who maybe graduated from like streetwear or whatever it might be and are into like older shit,
Yeah, just because I think men's contemporary fashion kind of like took over popular men's fashion, so to speak. I think it displaced street culture and streetwear as like the go-to aesthetic. But I like how the aesthetic and the culture just continues to move and shift and evolve, and moving into a different space like watches, I think was really fucking smart, because like street culture, it's never gonna go away. Like this is the people's champ type of aesthetic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Watches are also just like, they're so like unnecessarily complex sometimes in the collecting side of it. People have never really rated a collector who's just like, yo, that watch is cool, I'll take it. It's like, yo, that watch is cool, this dial is this way because of, and these are like, everybody collects in a different way is what I'm trying to say. And every way of collecting is important, but there's also space for people who just like want to collect a watch because it's sick. It looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
The diamonds are factory and they're hard. Like, and I think people tend to not rate that type of collector, but that's a collector too. And I think, opening the door for those types of people to feel comfortable coming into the showroom and being like, yo, I want it because it's hard. Not because like, it's this from this era and like,
Or logically complex.
An actor from the 80s wore it that like is like a, has been an action movie or whatever it needs, like the usual references as to why a vintage watch collector would collect watches. There's other references that are okay to have and okay to like put onto. And I think that's kind of what we're trying to help,
But I think what you guys do really well is also like you said, it was hard to find a good experience early on. And I feel like watches in the same way as art. Sometimes you'll want to buy a piece or you'll want to buy a watch and the person selling it is kind of like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's not a good experience. And you guys offering that to just such a large group of people now, I think is really nice and invites more people in to buy a watch that maybe were like intimidated. And then there's just like the whole thing, if you're buying retail, you can't like walk into a Rolex and be like, I want this watch. You can, but so I think having somebody and then like having you guys, you're so knowledgeable, you can like guide somebody who maybe isn't like, I just want that one. They're like, why should I? Like you can offer that.
Well, I've never really actually like tried to buy a watch from the store because I've never really been interested in those. But one thing that I will say is that the vintage space actually has a lot of people who are really good communicators about why like watches are important and why watches are good. Like Adam from Menta, or Mike Nouveau is really good at communicating or explaining watches. And there's other OGs like Eric Koo and like really important people in the world, even in Europe. Like there's just so many of them that I can't like. But I think that type of information is so important and dominated by these guys that are so good at explaining it. But there's also other information that hasn't really been, cared for, I guess, that hasn't been relevant in their type of world. And I think that's really what we're trying to speak to. So when people like come to our showroom, it's important to let them see everything that we have and not like,
But that's also what you do, is that you select pieces from a POV of like dudes like you or dudes like me or dudes like Mike, where like that's how you guys, I think, figured out that like AP Bamboo watch. Like people had forgot about that AP Bamboo. I didn't know about that watch. I seen it on the VS account. I'm like, yo, what is that? I remember I called you immediately. I was driving through a hill and I barely had reception. I was like, yo, what is this thing?
Yeah.
How much you flipping this for? And you were like, 40 for you, King, like 39, like, fuck you. But like, you were telling me about it and like how people had slept on it for so long. And you guys had like, I think 3 out of like the only 4 available at the time or something like that. But I was just like, I think what you guys are doing that you don't give yourself enough credit for is like you are finding the watches that a guy like me from the culture we're from would like that doesn't even know it exists.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're trying to do is speak to that sort of customer, but also, you know, the crazy thing about these watches is like the customer, like, okay, so you got to think about like a person buying that watch in the 70s and 80s, like probably the most unhinged person of their crew, or like a person with like insane swag or whatever it might be. And those types of collectors, like, they kind of phased out. Watches and collecting and what people were buying in vintage, they weren't even like checking for those watches. So a lot of those watches were just straight up melted, you know, like they just like kind of disappeared, or they're melted for gold or whatever. There were a lot of dealers, guys and girls, who were holding on to those watches, who like kind of knew what they had, you know, like there's a guy in New York, actually, Murillo 55. He always has really interesting, cool, like vintage, like I would say jewelry pieces, and I think those people always existed. Those types of dealers have been here for a while. Maybe they just they hadn't unlocked the customer that we have unlocked. You know?
That's what it is.
And in a way, like now, and what I love about the watch world, actually, now that I'm in it, is kind of how like willing to work a lot of dealers are. You know, there's like super friendly with each other. Ultimately, we're all trying to break bread, you know. And Juan, obviously, who's my partner, has been a watch dealer for a really long time. He shields us from stuff, you know. Sometimes like he's doing a lot of the digging and research, but for the most part, like people are like dealers are very willing to work and deal with watches as long as, you know, as long as you're not.
Well,
like,
that's what I'm
bullshit.
trying to say is that you guys do, and I really love watching, is that like you're creating a market for things that to the regular collector consumer has no value. To the gatekeepers, the current gatekeepers, certain things you guys identify don't have value, like the quartz watch, the Rolex quartz watches. But because you come from a different culture with different values and a different POV, you're actually bringing an audience and a market to buy something that these fools thought had no value.
Yeah.
And it's fly. It's like when I wrote Fresh Off the Boat for Random House, I mean, part of the reason I got the advance I did was they told me like, you're going to bring an audience that doesn't read our books. And I think that's kind of what VS is doing with watches.
Sorry, I gotta adjust my aging knees.
It's cool. I fed you a softball. You just whiffed. Oh, you didn't even swing it.
I'm sorry.
Fucking Carlos Beltran over here.
Yo, you know. No, honestly, I think for us it's been really sick to just get into this space and learn. Like, dude, there's shit I learn every day. Like watches I've never seen before, things I get like excited about. It's like you're digging for treasures like every fucking day, and like things that I literally cannot afford, that I'm like, oh, I need that. And sometimes like even having the business is like a cheap way to just like get the watch that you kind of want but can't afford because you know now it's in stock, you know, justify it to whoever. And it's just sick, man. I really love doing it. I love what we've built, and it's exciting.
Okay, when you first had bread, you got the watch that you got, but like when you really had money and you're like, I could go for the watch, like what was the penultimate like holy grail watch you could afford and got?
I haven't had that yet. I think the only watch that I've ever looked at and like I think about every day is a Saru GMT, like the first one that came out in, I believe, the 80s. Someone I know has it with a president bracelet. Ooh. And like factory diamond, everything. I've never looked at a watch and been like, wow, this is like the most insane watch. Like whoever wears this is like a psycho, and that needs to be me. And I think that's that. But the funny thing is like, and it's not because like I want and need more things or I'm never satisfied, but it's just naturally like you get one thing and you're kind of like, all right, like what's next, you know?
No,
I
it
don't
was
think
interesting
anyone will
like,
ever be.
You know that customer I sent you last week? He was like trying to cop his friend a Daytona, right?
Oh yeah.
And he's like, yo, he wants a Daytona. I'm like, yeah, he seemed like a Daytona guy. And he's like, what's that mean? I was like, well, I mean, to me, there's just like when you're going to get that first big watch, like your 40th birthday, your 50th birthday, it's like, I feel like there's president dudes and there's Daytona dudes. And then there's like sub dudes or whatever. But I was just like, when I had paper, I was like, I'm getting the Tony Soprano all gold Prezi champagne dial. Like, I feel like you are a Prezi dude.
I am a Prezi dude, and I technically we should say president, but you know, I'm Prezi dude. I go back and forth. Like, I love, my favorite daily watch is a yellow gold Submariner nipple dial. It's a 16808 reference, but every time I just get drawn back to presidents. My friend Liam McRae says they're the wackest watch that one could buy, and I'm like, you're so wrong. And it's like we have these debates all the time. That's why it's so personal. He's someone that like I feel like taste wise, idea wise, we're aligned on a lot of things except this one thing. And that just goes to show, like, a Prezi guy or a Daytona guy or a Patek or whatever. It could be anybody.
It's interesting
you never
because
really know.
I was reading the High Snobiety article, and your whole crew, all of us, is like Prezi. Like Angelo copped a watch from me, Prezi. You know, like the one I saved my bread up, Prezi. It's just like, it was never a thought. Like, I was never gonna get the Daytona first. Like, I was always gonna get this.
I mean, the other thing that happened is, like, when we were growing up or we were coming up, these watches were not the expensive status symbol that they are now. Like a Daytona, 10 years ago was 10,000, it wasn't that much money, neither was a president, I guess, but president was always seen as like a yellow gold Rolex,
Yeah. And it was like JFK had one. Tony Soprano had one. Like, if you were boss, you wanted to be the boss, president.
You're a president.
You're the president, and it's like, it's interesting now to see like younger dudes, turning 30, turning 40. They're like, oh, I don't want to be seen as, I wanted to be the Daytona guy. I want to be the sub guy. It's interesting to me.
Yeah. I mean, look, to each their own. If you don't want to look hard, that's your problem.
That's your problem. Exactly.
That's your issue,
if you beta, you beta.
Yeah, what can I say?
Okay. If you could have, like, what's the watch that you've wanted or wanted?
I don't think about it this much. I think about bags.
Yeah.
Watches are cool. I'm like happy to have one.
Okay, what's the bag?
I mean, right now, probably just like a mini Royal Oak.
Oh, okay.
Just like the mini. I like the mini.
Okay.
I think it's cute. Like, I would like that for a daily driver. Maybe the gold. Cute.
Sorry, I got you the 32,
Sorry. No, but that's it. But
Wait,
I don't
is it
lust
32 or 34?
I don't lust for watches like that.
Tell us, what size is this? What size is the one she got?
I don't remember.
Is it 32?
I think it's
34?
36.
36? Oh, 36?
Yeah.
Dang. Oh, the mini is
I have
the
a small
30.
wrist, but the mini is really cute. So I think, like, if I was going to get a watch, it would be that. Or like a cool vintage Piaget. Like, I like sometimes how they have like an emerald.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know names.
You guys
I'm
got
not
some
that
good
deep.
Piagets like that.
But just like, I like an
purple blue
emerald
face.
stone, just like cool vintage shit like that.
I think the coolest thing that we do sometimes is like try to play. Like, sometimes I'll literally buy a watch and I'll be like, oh, this is for this person. And like, maybe someone that's never even bought a watch, like a friend that's never bought a watch from me before or whatever. Like, I remember I got a watch once and I was like, this is for my friend A-Side. Like, this is his watch.
Yeah.
And I hit him up and he was like, this is my watch. And that was it.
That's
Like,
really cool.
I was talking to A-Side at the same time. I was at Emil's house for a barbecue, 4th of July. And he was talking to me about wanting a cop of Vacheron Constantine at the time. And then I think he plugged with you, and then you put him onto something different.
Yeah, I had already sold him a VC, but he bought this really nice Rolex Cellini. It's just very sick.
Yeah.
But I guess sometimes, like, I'll buy a watch and I'll be like, this is for this specific person.
I really like that.
I like that almost more than buying a watch for our stock or for myself, because I think it's just like hunting for people and being right is like very rewarding.
Why you
in a
never
way.
buy me a watch?
I was going to say, well, okay, if there was a
The thing
watch
is,
that you could assign to him.
He doesn't like vintage. He likes to get him new out the box.
No, I only tell you that I buy vintage. I only fuck with you because you don't got boxes for your watch. Like,
First of
we're
all.
such good friends. I cannot give you too much credit. Like, this is the most I've ever glazed you in your life. Pause.
Hell yeah.
But it's just like, I love vintage. I just fuck with you because you'll be in the chat being like, yo, boys, who wants a watch? I'm like, you don't even got boxes.
That's true.
But it's like, it's not a real insult. It's just
No.
to neg you. You know.
I mean, some watches come with boxes, some
All right,
don't.
what watch you buying me, bro?
To be honest, I definitely you're like a green stone dial type of dude.
I
you know?
feel that as well.
That's crazy.
I do
you
the
said
same
that.
thing. I always send him greenstone dials, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I do the same thing. I'm like, this is you. Like, this is a watch that you just need.
That's
to have.
so crazy you pulled that out of my head because the one I want is the malachite.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, that's the
malachite
one.
stone
Day-date.
dial day date. That's
Yeah.
it.
Wow.
Damn, DZA
Stunning.
really knows me. Damn, the love is real.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, DZA. I got
Has nothing to
questions
do with
for
the
you.
gold, with the green jade on your chain or anything.
It would just, but it would look good.
It would
I
look
mean,
good. It
I
would
don't know.
look
I
good.
just think you're a gold guy. You're a green guy.
I'm a
Like, it
green.
just
I'm a
kind of
money
all-
green dude.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like the whip was money green.
Yeah.
It's always been my. You know why? Because the first Care Bear my parents ever bought me was
Was
the green.
green?
Care
You had
Bear.
a Care Bear?
Yeah.
That's adorable. I love that.
And then because I'm a Pisces March.
Soft. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
aren't
St.
we-
Patrick's Day, I was
That's
always
hitting
like
the
green,
chat.
You know,
Yo,
yeah. This going
Photoshop Eddie
Yo,
with
they're
the
gonna
Care
make fun of me
Bear.
forever
Put
with
his
this
head on
green
the
ass
Care Bear.
fucking Care Bear.
This is his head on Care Bears.
Yeah, yo. I got sensitive with this, and I'm gonna get shot in the chat.
The Care Bear.
Yeah,
That's-
never open up.
I like that.
Yeah, message to men: never open up to your homies. This is what happens.
The male loneliness.
All right, we got
epidemic.
5 questions for you, rapid fire.
Okay.
This is a new segment. You're the first person I've ever done prep for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 1, what is your favorite watch to wear right now?
The one I have on, which is this platinum Day-Date 118206 reference.
Sure, it's not stainless steel.
Period.
All right.
You want to feel it? It's heavy.
Okay. You're a very intelligent man, so I'm going to ask you this. What's the line on China versus America's economic tariff war?
Man, China's a heavy favorite, I think.
Heavy fair. What's the number?
I can't
me
put
the
a number
line.
to that because like
If you were Vegas.
probably like minus 200.
Ooh. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I may take the America plus 200 money line though, you know?
All right. Well,
Yeah. Maybe, you know,
those
FanDuel
trains,
gives me the
I see
boost.
how you guys build trains over there. It's,
Yeah.
It's crazy. Shit's crazy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet against that, bro.
Terracotta robots,
That shit
man.
is crazy.
Okay, French or Lebanese food?
Dude, you know what? People give French food a lot of hate. French food is fucking superior. It just is. Mad butter. Who doesn't like butter? Number 1. Steak free might be like the best dish of all time. Number 2. Mushrooms. It's just, there's a lot of good French food, and like this whole like eating the lean, chilling out. Like, nah, go to a brasserie, a good one. Order the most exorbitant amount of butter and tell me you'll have a bad meal. The problem with Lebanese food, as a Lebanese person, it can be hit or miss. And when it misses, it fucking misses. You know? But when you go to a good Lebanese restaurant or your grandma cooks it or whatever, yeah, it's like the greatest shit. But generally, if I'm going out to eat, I'm probably gonna pick a French spot.
Damn. You really glazing the conqueror here.
What can I say?
Yo, you like
Paris,
winners. You like
know?
winners. You like winners.
Nothing
He likes
wrong
a
with
winner.
that.
I mean, it's just
I mean, that's a good hot take. All right.
people really hate on French food. Somebody told me the other day, I went to Paris and they were like, the food was ass. I'm like, you're fucking dumb. You know, like, how do you have a bad eating experience in Paris?
I will say I'm a big fan of like Burgundian food. Like, okay, like
Amazing.
country French food,
Yeah.
that's my shit.
Those stews, like, come on, they're sick.
Yeah, cassoulet.
Normandy has like really great ways of making veal.
Yeah.
The Basque country, come on, there's good.
coq
food,
au-
man.
like a real good coq au vin, a real good
Yeah.
beef bourguignon, like, and with Burgundian wine, I do feel wine is the penultimate thing that people have created that you put into your body. Like, that they catalog the lots of land. Like, I really, really do respect like how much attention French people paid to that.
Yeah,
like
I don't
that.
drink, but I salute it.
Yeah, salute. All right, Walrus Rodeo or Boya Day?
Damn. I mean, honestly, they're both great. They both have the same chef. Boya Day came first. It's really good. But obviously, I'm a partner in Walrus Rodeo, so you know I'm a pick. But it's like, I love them both. You know,
Ooh. Both restaurants are shouted out in the new novel.
they're great.
You know,
Yeah, salute.
yeah. There
Salute
was a
to Alex and Lucci.
There is a DZA character in the new novel coming out. There's a DZA character. That's how much I love you.
Hell yeah.
All right, fuck, marry, kill. Ronnie Cycli, Harold Miner, Alonzo Mourning.
Mary is is obviously Alonzo Mourning. Dude, kill is Harold Miner. Fuck is Ronnie Cycli. Lebanese, you know? Salute.
Okay. I could see you making out with
Lebanese
Ronnie
DJ,
Cycli.
you know? Yeah, chill out. Miami legend, though. He's still a Miami legend.
He is
you know?
also a DJ. Like that would be a holy grail
Yeah.
guest for us is Ronnie Cycli.
He's sick.
I love Ronnie
Yeah,
Cycli. Yeah. I had a feeling you were gonna lace Ronnie Cycli. And anything else you want to tell the viewers? Any final thoughts? Hot takes?
I don't, I have one hot take that I've been testing out on people all the time, that there's only one good drink on earth, and it's a Coca-Cola.
100%.
Fruit punch Gatorade.
No, it's a full sugar. It's a full sugar Coca-Cola.
When you sit outside at a restaurant and they bring you a Coca-Cola with ice and a lemon,
Yeah.
there's no better
Nothing
drink on
better.
earth.
Somebody,
Every other drink in the world is just trying to catch up to that drink.
yeah, someone on the internet said it was a fridge cigarette. And I was like, that to
Wow.
me, that just spoke to me. And I was like, yes, I sometimes I'm like, I need a Coca-Cola in the way that I would need a cigarette.
I mean, in a bottle, come on.
In a glass bottle.
Shit's crazy.
And then
I'm
pouring
such a
it
bro.
over ice.
For me, it's lemon lime Gatorade.
Yo, but like considering
it's a
Gatorade as an
Coca-Cola.
amazing drink is
I
crazy.
love it, bro.
It's a
Like,
Coca-Cola.
I'm more
That
Florida
shit
than
was
you,
made-
dog.
that shit
I'm
was
more
made-
Florida than you.
to like feed you electrolytes and like
Yeah.
horrendous athletic moments. You
When,
know,
did,
like,
when did you move
Yeah.
to Florida? What age were you?
when I was 6.
Oh, damn. All right.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
there before me.
Can you imagine sitting somewhere like paint the evening? It's like a beautiful night. You're sitting outside.
have you this
You're at
fruit
this like
punch
you're like the moon you can see the moon, the stars. You're like having this romantic moment, and then you're like, yeah, I would love a glass of Gatorade.
But you know this shit true to me. Like, what do I have by
know.
on the nightstand
But
all
look,
the time?
but that's because you got
Liquid
like
Death and Gatorade.
stomach
yeah,
stuff.
he has like you're
you
a different
know.
person. If you were like
Yeah.
living correct, it would be a Coca-Cola.
I mean, I think to be honest, and like what food doesn't go well with
can't
Coca-Cola?
think, anytime I'm eating food, the first thought is, wow, I could really a
just
Coke
saying,
would go amazing
it's
with
the
this.
go-to
Chinese
drink.
food
Especially
number one is
French food.
Coca-Cola. Chinese food, Coca-Cola.
It's the go-to drink. You
No,
never
it's
been to
every cuisine. Name one cuisine and tell me that a Coca-Cola doesn't complement
Sushi.
it. Amazing with a
Fire.
Coca-Cola.
Nah,
Amazing.
nah,
The bubbles.
Yo, eating
and then,
like
and then you
dynamite
just, like,
rolls and shit over here.
Yeah.
I've
Whatever.
never had those, but I will say, you
have,
go
I
to
love
barbecue in
Yo,
someone's
I seen
backyard.
you up in Hillstones with the crazy rainbow roll and your hat off and the fucking bald
I will
spot
say-
shining.
Hillstone has amazing, amazing food, horrendous vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of your best takes. You've been a Hillstone hater for like 10 years.
I have been. I'm like the original Hillstone hater. I just don't understand why a sports cap isn't allowed. But you could go in there with
Or a
your
stroller.
bucket hat chilling.
Or a
Yup.
stroller.
Well,
You
yeah,
truly, there were like no strollers in the dining room.
it's just crazy to have like no hats, no jerseys policy in 2025. This is insane.
I mean,
I agree. It's
You're not like
racist.
that.
No
It's
jersey. I didn't know
racist.
there was no jersey.
Oh yeah, you can't.
mean,
like,
you
What are they
I mean,
worried
I don't-
about?
I
Like,
don't know
are they
that,
worried
but
about like
it's just, like,
gang affiliated
basically-
violence happening? Like
no,
somebody,
but they always make us take our hats off.
I just think if your aesthetic is like modern American dining, like
It's
modern
Cheesecake
American
Factory.
classic dining,
Yeah.
like how are you gonna have a no hat policy?
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, why can't I wear my Iverson jersey backwards?
Wow.
You know,
You guys have
Doesn't
beef
make
about the hat.
sense.
I have beef about the stroller. They
Respect.
also told. It's a story that was told to me from like a friend of a friend, whatever. They went and they brought their baby who was like under a year old, like just having a good time. The kid was just like making noises that kids make. And they were like, can you leave?
it's crazy.
They asked them to leave. They're like, can you make your kids stop making the noise?
Respect.
And I'm just like,
But
that's
whack.
fucked.
Hillstone hates sports caps and
But
children.
the food is good.
The food is great. I would love, there's nothing more that I want than like a dynamite roll and then like a Chinese chicken salad or a burger with fries or a rack of ribs. Like I can get them together.
spinach dip.
Spinach
You
dip.
know,
Spinach
like
dip.
peak
Yeah.
Houston's was when Jeezy was like, "I'm over the stove," like the chef at Houston's. I was just like, "Damn, Jeezy knows."
That's a great line.
Yeah.
Jeezy fucking
I'm just
knows.
gonna say you can go to any barbecue or person's house, whatever, backyard. There's always gonna be a Coke bottle on the table. It's the greatest drink ever made.
I think we end there because that's period.
There's a hot take. Gatorade, lemon lime. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Coca-Cola.